Oh, got this out the other day and it was painful.
I didn't do this throughout most of my weight loss, but because I am loosely tracking my macros right now, and I'm doing it, and I'm also doing it because I wanted to show you how I'm eating a low calorie meal. I'm like so sweaty from that.
So that weight on the scales is actually higher at this point. It's day like 11 right now into my cut, and it's actually higher than my starting weight. And this is a point where a lot of people would give up because I had a takeout meal last night, I had a bit of alcohol, and for me, I'm like, I know that having a really salty meal, because I had a takeout meal, but it wasn't like, I had steamed veggies, rice, and some tofu with some soup. Like, it wasn't a super high calorie meal, but I ate it later at night. It's got a lot more salt than what I'd normally have, and I'm about to get my period. So that's why the scale weight is going up. I'm not gonna freak out. I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. The scale weight is gonna fluctuate. You are going to have random highs, and that is normal. Expect it. And it is currently 10 to 8. I have got a meeting in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna make a coffee and then go to bed. Oh, got this out the other day and it was painful for my MRI. I just my knee, okay? So I normally put like a little bit of chocolate powder on my coffee, but I'm trying to build some different habits, obviously, now that I'm in a weight loss phase. So I'm going to use cinnamon. I don't know why, but I just feel like coffee needs something on top. And then I hate drinking water in the morning, but you can tell from my voice that I really need it. But so I fill this up and I habit stack so that I drink my water before I can have my first sip of coffee. And it just kind of forces me. It just never gets old. I don't know what it is. Day officially started. Okay, I'm so hungry right now. I have not eaten. It is 10:15 and Nick is doing a call in the kitchen, essentially, at the dining room table. So I'm gonna eat this because I'm like starving. I can't go in there. Work, calls. Nick is finally finished, so we're gonna make breakfast. And normally I'll do this the night before, or I'd do it in the morning, and then I would let it sit for like an hour or so, but we're doing it now. Better late than never. Bit of water, cinnamon, and I need to go out, but I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes and then take it with me. Well, this is embarrassing. There we go. I don't know why, but there's so many what I eat a day in a day videos, or videos that I've done that I am getting my brows done on that day. I really don't get my brows done very much. It's like every 2 months. So it's kind of funny. I'm gonna come back and my brows will be way better. I'm extremely excited for this. It's not as kind of set as I would like though. Very frozy. Yum. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for doing some shopping. What you get? Lots of broccoli, potatoes, great.
Tomatoes, kiwi fruit.
Oh, excellent. Yum.
Costs $3 a kilo.
Oh, sweet.
And celery. And a whole lot of frozen berries.
Nice. So I just got back and want to crack on with some work, but I didn't finish all my oats, and I'm actually going to put this in the fridge because I might be a bit hungry later on and there's not really enough for like a full meal right now, so I'm going to make something, put this in the fridge for later. And we are going away tomorrow night, so I'm going to try and use up all these kind of ingredients that I have. I have some buttercup here, I have some kumara, sweet potato in this one, I have like half a thing of tofu, and I have a whole lot of like pre-steamed broccoli from the meal prep video that was last week's video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up Chronometer and just have a little play around in terms of like the macros of like what I could make with these foods. And like I wouldn't normally do this. I didn't do this throughout most of my weight loss, but because I am loosely tracking my macros right now, which I talked about in the video that I did one time. This one. I'm doing it, and I'm also doing it because I wanted to show you how I'm eating a low calorie meal. Create recipe. So I'm just gonna go lunch, add ingredient, buttercup. Let's see, because I know how much I have of this. So 200 grams of buttercup squash, some broccoli, say like 200 grams of broccoli to recipe, and then I'm going to add another ingredient. I'm going to add my tofu, 219. It's got 35 grams of protein. I'm not super hungry, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to cook all this up, just like do it on my stove top. Works out to just like 400 and something calories, which is not really enough for a meal, and there's not a lot of starters in here, but I'm not very hungry, and I will be adding a few elements afterwards, but I'm going to use this up and add this as my base. If you are not at a point where you only have like 10 pounds to lose, or you just really don't have a lot, then you can afford to eat more calories. I would say that I'm gonna need less calories than like most people who are watching, I'm gonna guess, which may come as a shock to you even though I'm tall, but simply because I have less mass. So I would be 1000% adding like a kumara in there as well. Like you add this becomes a very satiating meal. For most people, probably not trying to have as much tofu as myself, maybe have this much and have the broccoli in there as well. You can see how the ratios of what you eat is gonna massively affect the calories. Like this would work out to about the same because I've removed this tofu right here. But for me and my goals, I'm gonna do this. Everyone has different goals. The principles are the same. Looking good. Ready to go. So this might not look very pretty to a lot of people, but to me this looks like absolutely beautiful, and we're going to make it even more beautiful by putting that tomato on top. This is a lot of food actually. This is what happens when you use calorie density and you use a lot of low calorie elements. You can just eat a lot more. So I'm also going to put a little bit of parsley, and then my very beautiful avocado that I'm extremely proud of. And now all this needs is a bit of pepper, which I cannot do in the shop, but trust me, I am doing it. Here we go. So this entire meal is 518 calories. It's like over 700, nearly 800, so nearly 2 pounds of food. And that's with the avocado, with tomato, and with the nutritional yeast added. That avocado, that just is life to me. So good. All right, let's really quickly talk exercise and workouts and all those kind of things. So big thing for me is that I do something called progressive overload and strength training. So I'm really trying to lift heavy when I go to the gym. I do typically a 4 to 5 day split. I want it to be 5 days. Recently it's been 4. So I'll do ideally 3 upper body days, and then I'll do 2 lower body days. I hit a lot of back, and I try to do like a little bit of abs on my upper body. Now I'm doing them on my lower body as well. And essentially I just go and I do the movements that I believe are going to give me the most bang for my buck. So I do a lot of things that are to failure, like pull-ups. I will do like hip thrusts where I'm not at failure, but I'm like very, very close. I will do like cable rows, leg day type things. I will do Bulgarian splits. I'm going to go over really very, very briefly what my kind of program looks like. But the biggest thing that I did when I got into strength training is I just focused on working the body parts that I wanted to work and the things that I wanted to grow. About a year ago, when I looked in the mirror at the gym and I noticed that I hadn't really built any shoulders, I changed a lot of my workouts, like lateral raises and shoulder press, and just a whole lot more exercises that were actually going to target my shoulder. So I'm just literally Googling things in that case. I'm not an expert when it comes to fitness. So I have a fitness coach, and I just want to share like a little bit of example of what that looks like. I don't think that in terms of building a program that you have to be an expert. I firmly believe that the biggest thing is that you do lift heavy, you do try and go to failure, you do understand progressive overload, and that you use the resources that you have. So if you have a gym, go to it. Ask the people there, get around people who are going consistently. If you have access to workout programs online, then do that. Really just getting in the habit of having some kind of workout routine is amazing. Build that habit, show up consistently, and then over time you're going to learn more and more and more about that. I'm using an app called Heavy, which I really like, which my coach has set for me. It's just like a really brief look at kind of like what kind of things I do. Weighted pull-ups now that I've been set that, pull-ups, some ab stuff in here, like seated cable row, overhead press dumbbells, so like 6 to 8 kind of things in a day. And then on a lower body day, I do something like hip thrusts. There's some other warm-up activities, cable standing abductors, where your foot kind of like your leg goes out like this. Leg press, something I've done lots. Bulgarian splits, always done them. Love-hate relationship with them. Some planks, calf raises, cable crunch. So you can see that there's really not a lot of stuff in there, and a lot of the time if I've got 20 minutes, if I've got 30 minutes, what's the thing that I can hit and it's going to give me the most bang for my buck? And I just will try and lift heavy, and I'll do 10-12 reps and something, and just try and push myself. So like I said, no expert, but that is what I'm doing. Lifting heavy, using progressive overload. I'm not using like small tiny weights or like banded exercises for the most part. No hate against them, that's just what I'm doing. I'm like so sweaty from that like I put my glasses on and they instantly fog up. Sweat. I get the lips. That's what all this is the Batman symbol. Just call him Batman.
Tough. My arms are dead. Yeah.
Everyone thinks this is the weirdest thing, but I do like a low calorie lemonade with espresso, and it's like 70 calories, and I love it. There's one brand of lemonade, the Lemmy lemonade, which is my favorite. This one, it's like, it's alright, but. So we're just going for a little walk because we had to take Riley to White Cross because she's got these kind of swollen glands. How's it going?
Good. We got to go to Nan Puppy.
Going to Pack and Save. Pack and Save. Pack and Save. So we just got home. It's pretty late, and I don't know because 7:30, and we thought that Riley might have mumps, so we took her to White Cross. Doesn't have mumps.
Yes,
Months. I could not say it. I made some chili last night, and I shared the recipe in the meal prepping video that I did last week, so you can go and check that out here. And then I'm just going to whip up a couple of other things to have with it. We've got our chili bubbling away. I'm so excited to eat this. It's delicious. Then we have avocado and then lettuce, my compost bucket, ignore that. And then the kids will have some salsa, corn chips. So I went to my local Korean shop and I got this haul of stuff, and I thought you might like to see. So first of all, bean sprouts. I absolutely love these, love them with sushi bowls. I'm gonna put them with some ramen. They also, they're high in protein, which is it's not why I buy them, but really enjoyed these. Also got some silken tofu. Probably gonna make a mousse with this at some point. That's kind of like my thought process. And then I got some soft tofu, which I want to add to like a ramen soup because I saw this other influencer make ramen with this non-fried ramen, which is awesome because non-fried means that it's way lower in calories, way lower in fat, So like one of these is, it's in kilojoules. It works out to between 300 and 400 calories. So I would not just eat this on its own, but what my plan is if I'm craving ramen one night, I will add that, and I will add some silken tofu, I will add some bean sprouts in there, some spring onions, so I'm excited for that. And then I also bought these like little veggie noodle cups, which I thought would be good for my kids. It just means that we can have them to, like if we're going out somewhere, quick like little meal for them. And normally I'd just add more like veggies. Like my daughter could probably honestly even bring us to school. She would love that. But it's vegan. It says vegan on it. Obviously all the stuff is vegan. And I got quite a lot of these. And then I also got some lime juice. So that's my Korean shop haul. Pretty happy with it. Let's eat dinner. I am flippin' starving. My other thing is that I didn't actually even finish my lunch today or my breakfast, so I'm gonna add this to my meal, warm it up. And I've got a little bit of avocado, so I'm gonna not warm up that. So this entire meal here is now, it's about 430 calories with the avocado, and this is 24 grams of protein. I would have actually had more because it's like, this is a very low calorie meal in my opinion. Most of my weight loss I was actually trying to eat between like 500 and 600 calories in a meal, and I do teach how to do that without measuring and weighing anything. I did all the hard work for you in my mini course. So go check that out if you want. But I would have made this more like 500 or 550 calories, which would still be totally fine. Is I still have all this to eat, so I'm gonna eat this first, and then this is gonna be like the kicker. But how good does that look? Like, let's do a little taste test. So I'm gonna kill myself with some jalapenos. You need to try this chili. Seriously, it's wild. Wild good. And then I make my kids meals and my husband as well. These are going to be higher in calories because they eat a ton less, and obviously they just in terms of what they need. So we've got like more avocado, more fats in there, more coming from these corn chips as well. And so their meal is a lot more calorie dense. And this is how you can quite easily design meals for your entire family and just change the ratios based on who's eating it. You excited?
Yes, I am. This looks delicious.
One more thing that I think is worth mentioning is I know people in the comments are going to go crazy that I didn't add really a dressing to the salad, but here's how I eat it. Like, I get some on my fork, I eat it like with my food, and get the crunch of the lettuce plus the flavor of the chili. Don't actually feel like I need a dressing. It's my preference, and it saves me a ton of calories as well. It's just something that I've learned to do and learned to enjoy. Alright, so it is now, it's actually like 11:15. I need to get up really early. I've got a meeting at 5, so I'm gonna go to bed. And I didn't actually end up having any kind of dessert or anything. I'm actually kind of under where I like could have been in terms of calories today, so it worked out to about 1850, and I didn't actually finish my oats. I just remember that, so I didn't fully hit my kind of like where I would be expecting to with my protein, but I'm over 100 grams, which is for me where I'm kind of wanting to sit at. I'm at like 118, but it will be a little bit less than that because I didn't finish those oats. I had this little tea as well, this just kind of like little herbal tea. I'm actually kind of surprising myself because I'm finding that on this cut or diet, whatever, I'm just, there are like a lot more times where I'm just being okay without having dessert, and I think part of that is just being so busy prepping for my trip coming up to America and just not having the time. Like, it's close to 11, Nick's in bed, I got to get up before 5, so I'm not going to sit down and have a snack now, and I like my desserts to be an event. I want to be like sitting, I want to enjoy it. I'm not going to do it at my desk. So I think that's partly why. But that is what I eat in a day while in a dieting phase, and I hope that you found that helpful. I'm going to hit the hay.